Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Amy, a stay-at-home mom of 2, and today I'm sharing one of my absolute favorite videos to make every single year. It's my back to school prep video. I love taking you along as we get everything ready for a fresh start to the school year. So today we're going to be going through the kids' clothes, cleaning backpacks, making our first week of school meal plan, setting up our back to school breakfast that we do every single year, and even putting together a little teacher's gift. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Now let's get into the back to school prep. Okay, so the first thing on my list is to make sure that the kids have all their school clothes together. They actually wear uniforms, so this is pretty easy. We actually went through their clothes a few weeks ago, and I had them try everything on so I could see what all fit and see what we needed to order. Pretty much, Gracie June, all of her stuff still fit. We did get rid of like a few spirit wear shirts and things like that that we're gonna give to a friend, but everything else fit her, so now it's just organizing and putting it back in the drawers. And then Kason, of course, has outgrown almost everything except for his shirts. So we did have to go buy him a bunch of new pairs of shorts, a few new shirts, and he has already organized all of that stuff in his drawers. So I'm just going to show you how I organized their uniform drawer in their closets. I used to use the hanging organizers in their closets back before they wore uniforms because we would pick out their clothes for each day, stick them in their little cubbies, and they were ready to go for the week. And that was so nice. But now that my kids wear uniforms, I don't really need to do that. We just have a drawer and they go through, they pick out their bottoms, their top, and they're good to go for the school day. So here you can see these are the organizers that we use in their closets. They are so good. They're actually from the Container Store, and I love these because these drawers are so deep. They have 3 deep drawers, and then the one on the top is actually like a smaller drawer where I keep a lot of Gracie June's cheer bows. But this is how I organize their uniform drawer. Super simple. It's easy to just grab their uniform and get dressed for the day. All right, now last year Gracie June used a North Face backpack and it was just way too small. So we're going back to this LL Bean backpack that she's actually had for several years. It's a little bit dirty, so I'm gonna go ahead and hand wash this. I think she actually used this backpack for 2 or 3 years, and then last year we switched over to that North Face, and it was just a struggle all year long because she could hardly fit anything in there. And Gracie June was actually really excited to use this one again because she was just sick of struggling with that North Face backpack, even though that's like the popular one. All the girls had it. That was the reason she wanted it in the first place, was because everybody had a North Face backpack. But she's actually really excited to use this one again because she is more about wanting the room. Plus, it is really cute. It's such a cute backpack. It's the perfect little color. It's not, anything crazy. So anyways, I'm just going to hand wash this really quick and then lay it out on a towel to dry. And then while I'm hand washing this, I'm actually going to go ahead and hand wash this other little bag that Gracie June has. It's like a puff bag that she uses for her athletic clothes. Whenever she's taking those to school, she'll use it for that. And it was pretty dirty too. So I'm going to go ahead and hand wash that as well while I've got this soapy water in here. Now for Kason, I ended up having to buy him a brand new book bag this year. It's also from LL Bean. It's the exact same style, just a different color, which I'll show you guys that book bag in a little bit. But he also used to have an LL Bean book bag, but last year he wanted to switch, and I think it was either a Nike or Adidas. I can't remember which brand. But by the end of the school year, there were holes all in his book bag on the inside pockets. So we definitely had to get a new book bag regardless, or use the old LL Bean, but we'd already gotten rid of that old LL Bean book bag, so I had to get him a new one. So I'm telling y'all, if you want a book bag that's going to last you 2, 3, 4, I feel like they could use these for a long time. So if you're looking for a book bag that's going to last them a while, then I highly recommend these. They're also really easy to clean. These backpacks also come in lots of different sizes and color options. If your kids are in middle or high school, then I definitely recommend getting either the deluxe or the super deluxe. Both of my kids have the deluxe backpacks, but I'm pretty sure that Kason's old LL Bean book bag was a super deluxe, and I kind of wish I would have gone with that one this time because I went with just the deluxe. It's still big enough, but the super deluxe is definitely a good bit bigger than even the deluxe version. All right, so her backpack and her little puffer tote thing is all clean, so I'm just going to let them sit here and dry. And now I'm going to go through and start packing up their school supplies. I found these little clear organizers at Walmart, and I thought these would be perfect to put their pencils and pens and all that stuff in. And then we also found these little patches, and Gracie June was so excited. So I'm just showing you what the patches look like. And then I actually took it upstairs, let her put the patches on, and I'm going to show you really quick what they look like now that she has put the patches on. But if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, you could also personalize these with their name and put some vinyl on it. I love the hard case and that it's also clear so you can see what all you have in there. It's easy when you open it to find all your stuff. These are just great. So I'm just filling them. My kids had to have red, blue, and black ink pens, so I'm putting those in. I'm also adding in some mechanical pencils, highlighters, crayons, and markers. And Gracie June actually got these little highlighters that we're using last year. They're so cute. They actually came off of Temu, I think, or Shein, one of those. But they have like a little bit of glitter in them, and so they're really pretty. I don't know. The highlight part is really pretty, so she loves those. And then I also got some other highlighters for her that are aesthetic off of Amazon. And then Kaysen just wants regular old highlighters, of course. Now for the middle school, they actually give the kids their binders with the organizers and everything in it already, so we don't have to worry about that. And at this point, we didn't know what Kaysen was going to need. They didn't have the school supply list up for some reason. We knew obviously he was going to need all the pencils and pens and all that stuff, but we didn't know what kind of binders or anything. So we did end up having to go and get him some binders. I didn't show that, but he ended up needing a couple of 1-inch binders. And then we did end up putting filler paper in both of their binders. So really, that was all of the school supplies that they needed this year. And then the school does give the high schoolers, they give them an organizer. So he has a whole organizer that he has to keep in his backpack. And every single Sunday, they have to go through their program that they use on the computer, and they have to put in all of their assignments and everything in their organizer, their planner. And then they do give middle school a planner, but it's not as nice. So I ended up buying Gracie June this little pink bow planner, which I'll show you in just a second. I thought it was really cute, and hopefully it'll help her want to get more organized and use it a little bit more versus the one that they have for the school. And then this is just Gracie June's little emergency bag. She has like lip balm, deodorant, a little mirror in here, all the little extra things in case she needs it while she's at school. We also keep an umbrella in each of their backpacks because there are spots at the school where they will have to walk sometimes to different classes that are not covered. So if it's raining, then they either do like a little bus pickup that takes them around to that building, or if they're walking, they can use an umbrella. Here's the organizer that I was talking about, the planner. So it's got like the monthly view, it's got weekly view, it's also got where you can add goals in and all that kind of stuff at the beginning of the month. It's just really cute, and me and Gracie June are actually planning to go through this and put all of her practices and things like that on the schedule. And then she's going to use it each week to put her homework and everything, all of her assignments, tests, all that kind of stuff. I also got the kids new lanyards for school because they do have to wear ID badges everywhere that they go. I like the hard plastic case for these because we've had issues with the ones that they give us from school ripping throughout the school year. So these are really hard plastic, so they're definitely going to hold up much better. Okay, now I'm moving on to making our meal plan for the week, and I'm just writing our meal plan out on my weekly meal planner sheet so I can post it on the fridge, and then everyone knows what we're having for dinners this week. And if you want to use this meal planning sheet, I do have it linked below. It's a freebie. You can download it for free. It actually includes a monthly meal planning sheet as well. But these are also included in my cookbook, which I'm going to show you guys how I'm using that in just a minute. But you can either get this for free or you can grab my cookbook and it's included in that as well. Now here's a look at what we're eating this week. We've got sheet pan chicken and veggies on Monday, Doritos dump and bake on Tuesday, barbecue orange meatballs and rice on Wednesday, which is the first day of school. Definitely wanted something easy. Crock-pot pork chops on Thursday, and pizza on Friday. And I actually used my cookbook to plan some of my dinners for this week. So I'm going to show you what I do whenever I'm planning my dinners. So here's the crock pot barbecue meatballs and rice recipe. So what I'm doing is now I'm going to do my grocery shopping. I always do Walmart delivery. So I'm just going to click the link right here on my recipe. You can see it includes a little video, and then I can scroll over and just add all the things to my Walmart order. So here I'm adding my meatballs. Go back over, click on my barbecue sauce. I'm just going to add that to my cart, and so on. So even though I already know what all is in my recipe, I can see it right there on the shopping list. This just makes it super easy because I can literally just click these links, go add it to my cart, and I know I've got everything I need for that recipe. And then I'm moving on to my crock pot pork chops and doing the same exact thing. Then once I'm done adding all of my groceries for the week, I will go ahead and schedule my Walmart delivery and have them delivered to my house. Now, if you want to check out my cookbook, I'll leave a link to that below as well. It's got 20 of our favorite easy recipes. So these are perfect for busy weeknights, and all the recipes have that clickable link to where you can go to the video and shopping links. Now, if you don't shop at Walmart, it's okay. You can still go through and you can still see what all products I use, what brands, all that kind of stuff. And of course, you can always sub out things to make it a little bit healthier for you, whatever your preference is. And this is a digital cookbook, so you can either use it digitally on your phone, iPad, computer, wherever, or you can print it out, keep it in your kitchen, and have it available whenever you're ready to use it. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link below. Now we're moving on to making an easy teacher gift for back to school. Both of my kids are older, so I'm actually doing gifts for their homeroom teachers, and we just so happen to know Gracie June's teacher really well. She actually had her previously when she was in elementary school. So I'm putting together just a fun little basket that I think a middle school teacher would love, plus a few of her favorite snacks. And then I just added this little happy first day of school tag on the front. I actually made these last year and had some extras left over, so I'm just reusing those. Okay, now it's time to start setting up for our back to school breakfast, which is my absolute favorite part. And the first thing I'm doing is creating a little sign and also a table runner. I actually used Canva for both of these, and I'm going to order these off of Walgreens. I follow this girl on Instagram. It's called Parks Party Planning is her Instagram handle. Her name is Shelby, and she always has the cutest little DIYs and gift ideas. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely go give her a follow. I actually got the idea to do the sign and banner at Walgreens because of her. She did a little back to school breakfast setup, and she did this ruler. Hers was in pink, so she did like a whole pink theme. But I've got one boy and one girl, so I decided to do a little ruler in blue. So I printed this off as a banner at Walgreens, and they always have like some sort of coupon. So I ended up getting 50% off of both of these items. So to create the table runner, I went into Canva and I created a 2x8 banner, and I added the ruler as my image, changed the background color to blue, and saved it as a photo and uploaded it to Walgreens. And I printed it as a 2x8 banner. And then for the happy first day of school sign, I went into Canva, created my image as a 16x20, and then uploaded it to Walgreens and printed it as a 16x20 poster board. So that made it where it was thick. It's like a little poster. It's super easy. And then, like I said, Walgreens always has some sort of coupon on their website. So I used a 50% off coupon, and it was ready the same day. I went and picked it up. And now we are setting up for our back to school breakfast. So I ended up having a bunch of stuff left over from last year's back to school breakfast. So it's very similar to last year's. I used the same paper plates and napkins. And then I created these little pendants last year, and I'm just going to create a couple of extras, and I'm going to show you how I did that. I just printed them off, cut them out, and then put them on these little dowels. And then these are actually strips of plastic tablecloths, which you can find at the Dollar Tree. I think the metallic one you have to get at Hobby Lobby. But I just cut the little tablecloths into strips, and I'm using it to tie around this little pendant and jazz it up a little bit. Now, if you've seen any of my back to school prep videos, I do this back to school breakfast every single year. It's so much fun, and I usually change it up every year, But I had so much stuff left over, and my kids are way older now, so I decided I was going to use what I already had, and if I needed to buy some new things, I would. Like these little plastic cups are also new, but it came in a big set, so I'm going to have a lot left over, and I'm going to probably be using these again next year. Now, as you guys know, I only have 2 kids, but I'm setting this table up for 4 because we carpool with a couple of our friends. So they're going to come over early on the first day of school and have our little back to school breakfast with us. Now the next thing I'm setting up are these little paper mache apple garlands. These are so cute. I actually got 2 of them off of Amazon, but I only ended up needing 1 of them for this space. So this was really quick and easy to do. You just string all your apples through the string, and then you take the little sticker piece off, and it has some adhesive on there, so they just stick right together. And then I took a little bit of tape, and I'm taping them to the top of my signs here in the dining room. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how this back to school breakfast was going to turn out. I kind of thought it was going to be a little too plain, but I feel like it turned out so cute. I love that it's simple, but it's still really, really cute. Now, if you're wanting to see more ideas for back to school breakfast, then definitely check out all of my previous back to school prep videos. I have them all in a back to school prep playlist, which I'll link it below for you. But I've done so many different little themes for back to school each year, and they've all been fun. They've all turned out super cute. I've also shared lots of fun teacher gifts in those videos. So if you're looking for pretty much anything for back to school prep, I have definitely shared a ton of ideas over the years. Okay, now I'm making the first day of school snack, and I did this last year and the kids loved it so much that I think this is just gonna be a tradition from now on too. I'm just gonna make this for them every single year. So what I did was I just took these little pipe cleaners, added some chocolate chips to the bottom, then some marshmallows, goldfish, Hershey Kisses, and pink Starburst. And then I tied the bag up with a little elastic and tied some tulle around it, and it looks like a little pencil, but it's a snack. Now, the boys did not want to carry pencils to school last year, so what I did with theirs was I ended up just putting them in Ziploc bags, and so they had like a deconstructed pencil snack. But then I made enough for Gracie June and her friends, so she took a few to school to hand out to some of her friends. But these are so cute, so quick and easy to make. This would also be fun, like if you have little ones and you wanted to make a little snack for your entire class. I feel like this is an easy one to do. So after I got done making all of these, I ended up throwing them on the table. I feel like they kind of added to the decor a little bit, but it was also right there so that they could grab them and put them in their backpacks for snack that day. But here you can see this is how they turned out. They are so cute, and like I said, they're so easy to make. So my kids ended up starting school on a Wednesday, so I was doing all of this prepping Sunday through Tuesday basically. And I will be honest, I actually planned on filming more for this video. I wanted to go ahead and prep some lunches for the week and also prep some other snacks for the week, like apples and peanut butter, cheese and pretzels, fruit, all kinds of different things. I had a list of things to do, but unfortunately we ran out of time. My kids still had all their, practices and things that I had to drive them to. So unfortunately, I ran out of time and did not get to film any of that, but I will be doing that over the next few days, and I will definitely film it for you guys so you can see some of the things that we're trying to do for school this year. I'm definitely wanting to do a lot more meal prepping for them because they love taking their lunch, and I feel like when they buy lunch from school, they're just not eating nearly as much, and we want to make sure that they're getting enough protein and nutrients and all the things throughout the school day, especially when they have sports after school and all. So I will be sharing that in some upcoming videos for sure. Okay, now I have the table all set up for our back to school breakfast, and all that's left to do is actually add our breakfast, which I will do in the morning. So we're gonna go over to their backpacks and finally start putting all of their school supplies and everything in their backpacks. You can see I've got all of their stuff laid out here on the table, so I'm just going to stick this stuff in here. I'm sure the kids are going to want to move things around and organize it however they want to, which is totally fine, but I'm just sticking it in here for right now, and then they can go back through it later if they want to. Now, the kids also added their athletic clothes into their backpacks Gracie June had cheer practice the first day of school, and then Kaysen has a fitness class, so they did go grab their athletic clothes and they added those in their backpacks as well. So you can see these backpacks fit a ton of stuff. Now, I am curious, have your kids started school yet? Or if they have not started, when do they start back? I know several of the districts around us started last week and even the week before that. So our school goes back kind of late compared to all the districts around us. So I'm hoping that this back to school prep video is still helpful for some of you. Maybe some of your kids haven't started school yet, but if they have started school already, then just be sure to save this video. And like I said, I have that whole back to school prep playlist. Be sure to go through some of those next summer before your kids start back school, and maybe that'll give you some ideas, because I know that my kids start back a little bit later than a lot of the schools around us. I know a lot of y'all go back after Labor Day though, so hopefully there's a lot of you watching and your kids have not started school yet and you're able to use some of these ideas. Okay, their backpacks are all ready for the first day of school, and now I need to pack their lunches. And so I told you guys we're trying to meal prep a little bit more and make sure that they're getting enough protein and all of that during the school day. So Chance cooked up some steak and we have some rice in here. So they're eating steak and rice, and then the rest is just kind of filler. So we put some snacks, some fruit, a couple of those Roaring Water, Capri Sun Roaring Waters. They also take a water bottle to school with them as well. Okay, so that was Kaysen's lunchbox for the first day of school. Now we're packing Gracie June's lunchbox. She's pretty much getting all the same things, except we did add a Built Bar to hers because she is obsessed with the Built Bars. They're so good. I also wanted to note that our school does have a microwave for the kids to use, so they are able to heat up their lunches for the day. But we do have those thermoses, so I might try to use those throughout the year a little bit more, so that way they don't have to stand in line to heat up their food. All right, now it is the first day of school, and I got these super cute little back to school donuts for the kids this year. These are from a local bakery called Baker's Pride. These donuts were huge though, and they all ended up only eating like one of them, but they turned out so cute. The kids had an amazing first day of school. It was a little chaotic, I'm not gonna lie, getting there and getting all the pictures and all the things, but they had a great first day. They didn't get lost. They found all their classes, got to see all their friends, had lots of friends in their classes. So overall, it was a very successful day. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me for today's back to school prep video. I hope your kids have an amazing school year, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.